When I moved into my new house, I wanted to have a few security cameras installed. Sure, it's a quiet neighborhood. It's mostly elderly couples and middle-aged couples with their kids, but you can never be too careful. I had cameras covering every angle of the house and even a doorbell camera. Anytime someone rang the doorbell or motion was detected around the front door, the camera would turn on. All the cameras were app-enabled, and there was a small monitor on the wall of the kitchen where I was able to access any of the cameras. I live alone with my dog Jeffrey, and our house is old. It took some time getting used to all the noises it makes, the floorboards creaking, the ducts rumbling when the air turns on, and the noises the well pump makes at night. It's a comfortable enough place to live, though. One night, I was sitting in the living room, and I could see the monitor turned on in the kitchen. I looked at the window in the living room and didn't see a silhouette being cast on the curtains. Thinking it was probably just the neighborhood cat or dog, I shrugged it off and went back to watching TV. The monitor turned off after a minute or so. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a silhouette walk past the kitchen window. I opened the security camera app on my phone and I couldn't see anyone in the backyard. Then I began to hear it, a tapping on the window behind the couch where I was seated, accompanied by a faint and soft giggling. This sent a shiver down my spine. I was too afraid to turn around and look. Jeffrey began to growl and stare at the window behind me. The tapping and giggling stopped. I ran to the bedroom and grabbed my revolver. As I approached the living room, Jeffrey was facing the front door and growling. The light on my porch went out. I stepped into the kitchen and was startled by what I saw. I saw one big blue eye, right up in the doorbell camera. Its ice blue color and a pupil that seemed void of life frazzled me for a moment. Then I heard a voice whisper over the monitor. "Peekaboo, I see you." The monitor then turned off. I tried to access the security cameras through the apps, but they were all showing offline. The doorknob started to rattle violently for a few seconds and then it stopped. I heard giggling coming through the kitchen window. I called the police and told them that there was some kind of madman trying to break into my house. They said they'd send someone right away. I watched the silhouette of this man go from window to window attempting to peer in. I cocked the hammer back on my revolver, and the man tapped on the window above my kitchen sink. I approached the window and pulled back the curtain with my gun aimed outward. Nothing could have prepared me for what I saw next. There was a balding man with only a few wispy patches of hair on top of his head staring at me and grinning a toothy, crooked grin. He tapped on the window again and giggled. I've called the police." What sense of confidence I had was dwindling. "You need to leave." His face twisted in anger and was tapping and giggling and became pounding on my windows and growling. I was too afraid to do anything. I had never once thought that anything like this would happen to me. I closed my eyes and fired around. The pounding stopped. I opened my eyes to see a hole in my sink and a strange man was gone. The pounding stopped. I opened my eyes to see a hole in my sink and the strange man was gone. I told the police about the strange man and turned over all the footage I had of the man from the doorbell. It's been a few weeks and I still have trouble sleeping at night. Jeffrey still growls at the window every now and then, but we haven't heard his giggles since.